Hello everyone, Rockape here, and today we're taking a look at my top 10 games coming out in 2018. If there's anything you'd like to add to the list, feel free in the comments below. Otherwise, sit back and watch some games with me. The first game on my list, Dragonball FighterZ. Even though this one is being released early on in the year, this could easily take the crown of the best fighting game for 2018. This is a 2.5D fighting game by Arc System Works, who are fighting game veterans with the likes of Double Dragon, Guilty Gear, and BlazBlue under their belts. This will be an instant hit for any fighting fans. The artwork looks gorgeous, the combos look slick, and the gameplay looks authentic. The only downside is the initial price, which puts me off as it's $44.99 on the PC, which is a lot higher than any game in the top 20 currently on Steam, other than Call of Duty. So it might be better to purchase this on either PlayStation 4 or Xbox One, since you'll find more people willing to buy new games. Thus, this will have a bigger player pool online. This is looking to be released on the 26th of January, and it looks so good. The next game on my list is Monster Hunter World. This is going to be a fantastic looking open world action role playing game, and is the 5th game of the series. On first impression, it looks like a simple just kill things and get loot sort of game, but the series is known for having high learning curves and a lot of complex systems within the games, so I'm expecting nothing different from this. I'm looking forward to trying it out in 4-player online co-op scenarios, where I think the game will succeed the most. The Monster Hunter games are usually played on handheld devices, so I've never actually had a chance to play one myself. So as this is coming out on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One first on the 26th of January, it will also be available on PC later this year hopefully. So I'm mainly looking forward to watching the gorgeous graphics and teaming up with friends on there.
It's an ecological marvel, one that easily dwarfs any I have ever seen.
In February, the game I'm looking forward to the most has got to be the Shadow of the Colossus remaster on PlayStation 4. Much like last year's big remaster with Crash Bandicoot, this one's taken another classic PlayStation game, this time from the PlayStation 2 generation, and rubbing on the polish, which makes it a must-buy for any PlayStation 4 owners. Shadow of the Colossus is considered by many who have played it as one of the best games of all time, so you know this is going to be pretty good, especially for people who may have never even heard of the game. In a way it kind of reminds me of Monster Hunter, where you're up against a variety of creatures. It's definitely an action adventure game that you'll remember playing for a long time after you've completed the game. This is going to be available from the 6th of February. In March we have a few juicy releases, starting with Microsoft exclusive, Sea of Thieves. This is going to be a lot of fun with friends, as you can control a ship together, go exploring new islands, looting treasure and taking on other ships. This will probably be the game to own if you're looking for something new to play with your group of friends. There are other pirate games coming out, but this one will blow them out of the water. See what I did there? My only disappointment is it won't be available on PlayStation, but it could end up being one of the best reasons to own an Xbox One this year. Sea of Thieves will be available from the 20th of March on Xbox One and Windows. Also available on the 20th is Yakuza 6, The Song of Life, which takes on Sea of Thieves in a kind of head-to-head, as this game is a PlayStation exclusive. I've not played any of the previous Yakuza games. This one struck me as interesting because of the history of the games. From what I've seen, this will continue the crazy arcade-style combat of previous titles, mixed with some great storytelling, and it would be a great purchase for any PlayStation fans looking for a new action game in March. If you're interested in role-playing games, look no further with Ninokuni 2 Revenant Kingdom. This is a sequel to Ninokuni Wrath of the White Witch, which is considered one of the best RPGs of recent years. From a distance, this looks just like a cute anime style game. They teamed up with Studio Ghibli for this series. But if you give it a go, the gameplay and storyline, with the ability to freely roam the world, will have you wanting to play this game for hours at a time. To me, I'd consider this a mix between Zelda and Pokemon, which are both series that keep you coming back for more. Ninokuni 2 will be released on the 23rd of March for PlayStation 4 and Windows. The next few games also don't have any release date yet, but hopefully they'll be coming out soon. They're all stated for early 2018, so expect them to come out before maybe July, hopefully. First up is Griftlands. This is a game that immediately caught my eye due to its art style. This is a game made by developers Clay, who to me are mostly known for their Don't Starve series. Griftlands is done in a similar art style to those games, but it looks like it's going to be a fantastic role-playing game where the goal is to make as much cash as you can in this procedural world. I imagine this game will have a steep learning curve once you get into it, with many ways to die before you can get good at just surviving, let alone getting rich. There hasn't been much word on the when or wheres of this game being released, but I imagine it will come to Windows first, followed by PlayStation 4 and Xbox One at a later date. Next up on my list is a game I think you'd enjoy if you've ever played PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, as most online gamers have by now. I'm talking about a game that stands out to me compared to the whole host of Battle Royale style games now flooding the market. This game is called SOS The Ultimate Escape. I played the beta last year and recorded some video play on Welsh Gaming Network, and I really enjoyed it, even though I've got no interest in this type of game really. SOS is a game show where 16 players spawn in on an island. The goal is to find a crystal on the island and escape with a helicopter to win the match. The downside is there are only up to 3 crystals on an island, as well as being plenty of monsters and the need to find your own weapons and materials to help your cause. This game can get pretty hilarious when you decide to team up with strangers as a temporary truce before you stab them in the back last minute to take a crystal for yourself. It'll also focus heavily on Twitch streaming, as viewers watching can vote on how the streamer is doing, which in turn gains the streamer more points based on a fame-based leaderboard. I really love the idea of this interactive style of game. There isn't a release date on this one yet, but it says early 2018 on the website. As far as I know, it's only coming to Windows for now. It'll probably come to console at a later date if it picks up enough interest. The next game with no release date is already a favourite of mine, This one is called Northgard. It's currently available in early access on Steam, but Northgard is a fantastic little real-time strategy game. It's mainly a multiplayer game using a Viking setting where the goal is to win by one of several different methods, including the ability to brute force a victory by just killing everybody else. You can also win through building research points, known as lore points in the game, or even interesting ways such as being the first to craft the Sword of Odin. Craft that and you become king of the island. Northgard could be one of the best RTS games this year and will certainly be fun with friends who are interested in this type of game. If I described it to any regular RTS fans, I'd say it's most similar to Age of Empires, but with a lot less micromanaging. Finally, the last but not least game, Vampyr. This is a third-person action RPG from developer Don't Nod, famous for their Life is Strange series, which is very popular in terms of storytelling. From what I've seen of this, it reminds me of games like Assassin's Creed or the Batman Arkham series, but you play as a badass vampire, obviously. You run around doing cool vampire stuff, uncovering fascinating storylines, running around 1918 London, making different choices, and each choice you make impacts on the gameplay and the storyline. And speaking of gameplay, the combat looks pretty fun, with different vampire abilities available. It's looking to be released in the first half of 2018 and will be available on Windows, Xbox One and PlayStation 4. So that was my top 10 games coming out this year, 2018. I also want to give a nod to a few more games that I think will hopefully be pretty cool. First one, Escape from Tarkov. From what I've seen from my friends playing this one in the beta, it looks like it's going to be a lot of fun when it's fully fleshed out. It almost looks like PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, but with like a smaller setting, where you're trying to get loot and then you escape, and then there's a bit of micromanaging the loot that you've got. When you die, you lose that stuff forever, unless you've insured it or however it works. So it looks pretty cool. Red Dead Redemption 2 goes without saying, the next big game from Rockstar, the guys who make Grand Theft Auto. I'm hoping to God it won't just be riddled with microtransactions. Since if you look at their GTA Online stuff, they've mainly focused on that, and they haven't focused on single player GTA 5 at all, which is really disappointing to anyone who plays the game mainly for the single player game. But Red Dead Redemption 2 will still have a fantastic single player storyline, no doubt about it, no matter what they do with it online. There's also a game out called They Are Billions. This is an RTS already in early access on Steam. You build a village to try and stop a zombie horde from basically turning all your people into zombies. It's in a steampunk style game. It looks really pretty. You can only go up to level 4 at the moment, but once they fully fleshed it out, it's going to be a fantastic game. Cube 2, which is coming out later on this year, it'll provide a lot of time to anyone interested in puzzle games. If you're like me and love a good puzzle, Cube 2 will be where it's at. And I want to give a shout out for a game that has provided me plenty of dumb local multiplayer fun and fun with friends online. This game is called Mount Your Friends. There's a Mount Your Friends 3D coming out, and I can't imagine how it will look. It'll be manic. Mount Your Friends, where the first person has to stand on a goat, and then the next person has to balance on top of that person, and the next person balances on top of that person, and whoever's at the top by the end of it is the winner. And there's a time limit, so that's the way it stops you from just climbing forever. So in 3D, it's going to be crazy fun, so it might be day one purchase for me. I also heard today that Total War is releasing a new game. So this game is set in the Three Kingdoms, which was ancient kingdoms in China, which I am, oh my god, looking forward to so much. It basically brings together the game series of my childhood, Dynasty Warriors. I bought every game up until maybe like 7 or 8. And also brings together Total War, which is also one of my favourite ever series. Combine them to create a huge war game, and it will be beautiful. I think that game will probably come out around November time, but I cannot wait. And finally, it goes without saying, The Last of Us 2 is looking to be released later on this year. That is going to be one of the best games this year, one of the most highly anticipated games this year. Considering the first one was so iconic. It got remastered straight away for the PlayStation 4 as a day one release, I believe. This will be a must buy for any PlayStation 4 owners. And yeah, that's it. That's my list. If I haven't mentioned any games that you're interested in, I apologise. This has been my list of games that I like. I wouldn't say be careful, because a lot of games these days will come out with microtransactions. So don't go buying anything as a pre-order, just in case they're really badly handled by publishers or whatnot, where the gameplay is tied around microtransactions, like Battlefront 2 was. People were up in arms with Destiny 2's way they've handled microtransactions, so just be careful. That's all I'm saying. Be careful of games like Anthem, because I can imagine that being full of microtransactions. And if you do decide to pre-order any game for the bonuses, just do it a few hours before the game is released. You'll still get the bonuses. You might have seen reviews by then to see if the game's any good. And yeah, that's all I gotta say on the matter. So thanks for watching. If anyone's got this far into the video, we'll be doing a giveaway at 500 subscribers. That's it for me, and I hope you enjoy your games this year. The last few years have been a blast, and I noticed a lot of my games I've chosen have been Bandai Namco games. Fancy that. What a coincidence. So it's going to be a good year for them. So yeah, thank you for watching. Feel free to subscribe to stay in touch with me. And have a wonderful evening. Bye!